Friends, this is Father Frank Pavone of Priests for Life, and I have my daily diary segments to bring you now for Thursday the 7th of October, Friday the 8th, Saturday the 9th, and Sunday the 10th. This is going to be a 4-in-1 daily diary. So, on Thursday the 7th, I started pretty early here at my desk. I was responding to emails and doing some paperwork like at 3 in the morning. Early taping of Mass and then of Radio Maria radio shows. I had to send out some press quotes in regard to developments in the pro-life movement, give approval to some newsletters of ours that are going out. And then, starting at 8:30 in the morning, I had an all-day leaders meeting. Now, this meeting is a quarterly gathering of the leaders of national pro-life groups. It's open to all the national leaders. And that's been going on for since the 1980s. And I've been administering this meeting for some years now and arranging the agenda and coordinating the meeting, and our staff here at Priests for Life helps out. So we had it by Zoom this time, and it was an all-day meeting. So I was involved in giving some presentations and listening to the other presentations the various experts gave us, updates from Capitol Hill, from the House, from the Senate, updates actually from the legislators of Mississippi who wrote the law that the Supreme Court is now reviewing, and updates from the legislators in Texas who wrote the heartbeat law there that has been making history and protecting babies in Texas, stopping like 85% of the abortions throughout that state's 20 or so abortion mills. And we had a great meeting, a lot of interaction among the leaders. Janet Morana, our executive director, does a lot for the success of this meeting. Finished around 4:30, and then I had a phone appointment with our chief financial officer to go over a few things. And after that, I had a quiet dinner by myself here at the office and some very quiet work after dinner, and went to bed early after a very tiring day. That was Thursday the 7th. Friday the 8th. Around 4 a.m., doing some writing and reading here at my desk. Mass taping again early, followed by the Teresa Tomeo show. She has me on every week. And then staff briefing and meetings following that with various staff members. I had a meeting with our chief fundraising officer, and then a conversation with the Attorney General's office in Mississippi. Of course, that's where the Dobbs case comes from, that the Supreme Court is hearing on abortion. Dobbs, by the name, is the way of the health commissioner in Mississippi for the State Department of Health. And then I had a board meeting right after that. I had a quick lunch and then a board meeting for 90 minutes of the National Pro-Life Religious Council. Now, this is an interdenominational group of leaders, religious leaders fighting abortion, and I'm the president of that group. So we had our board meeting from 1 to 2:30. Then I did some work at my desk, and then I was happy to welcome some pro-life visitors from the local area, and they got a tour of our building, and then they sat down with me, and we talked for about a half hour, and they answered various questions and so forth. Then I had a meeting with our executive director together with our chief technology officer. We went over a few things. And then I drove over to Merritt Island, where I have a favorite place. There's a fish market there, and I picked up some dinner there at the fish market and ate on Merritt Island. Got together with some colleagues there, and then came back to the office and went to bed. Saturday the 9th, I was here. But this weekend was a good office time of catching up both on Saturday and Sunday. So I started Saturday morning with desk work, and let me go over basically at my desk all day, all afternoon, all night. And at night I'll tell you something special that I did. But the desk work that I was covering included things like, well, first of all, I communicated with Alveda King in the morning. We were planning for the Supreme Court case and some events surrounding that. I went over to get a haircut. Over here, there's a barber shop, All American Barber, it's called. And they're Trump supporters, and they're talking about the faith and scripture, and it was great. So I got a good haircut there. Had Mass, our broadcast Mass at 10 a.m. But then my work at my desk included updating the liturgical resources that are on our website. Priests and deacons and parishes around the country make use of those, even around the world. I'm reading through a book about Hannah Strage, who is the first adopted frozen embryo who was adopted and came to birth and is a healthy young lady right now. And I'm in contact with her parents, Marlene and John, and reading their book. We're going to be doing an interview with them. They also submitted a brief to the Supreme Court about this abortion case. I was writing various articles. I was preparing for some new staff to arrive. There are certain things, obviously, that I need to do in preparation for that, but we are hiring new staff to start shortly. And also, our communications director is moving from Texas back here to Florida to work at our main office, so that's exciting. I spent some time approving some appeal letters and some newsletters, filling out also some religious exemption forms. You know, a lot of people's jobs are being threatened, and they're losing their jobs because they refuse for moral or medical reasons to take the vaccine. And so when they ask for a religious exemption, sometimes their employer requires a letter from a priest testifying to what the church says about all this. And so I've been writing letters like that. I mean, the letter is written and I put in the name of the proper person with the help of my staff, and we send those out each day. Really, multiple requests each day are being fulfilled for that. I worked on also fulfilling some mass intentions, various people requesting that I offer mass each day for specific people or intentions, and so I was gathering together and organizing and assigning dates to those. I was organizing with the leaders of 40 Days for Life possible visits to some of the prayer sites while that campaign is underway. Saturday night, President Trump gave a major speech in Iowa, so prior to that speech I was getting the word out and urging people to watch it. And also gave approval for one of our mini catalogs. Every month we send out what we call a mini catalog featuring some of our many products for pro-life education that you can find at prolifeproducts.org. On my way then into Maitland, Florida, I had about a 50-minute drive Saturday night because I went to a pregnancy center banquet, the Life Choices Medical Clinic. I was privileged to go to this banquet. So on my way driving there, I was listening to the talks that were given recently at a citizenship conference that our friends at Family Research Council put together. Priests for Life was represented there, called Pray, Vote, Stand. And so plugging my iPhone into my car's speaker, I was able to listen to various talks from that conference on the way to this banquet. Took part in the banquet, networked with people, saw a lot of folks that know me. Maybe some of you were there. Life choices, saving lives every day. And then on my way driving back from there, coming back to my office about 10 o'clock at night, I was listening to none other than President Donald Trump and his speech in Iowa. It was a great speech. Make sure that you go see it if you haven't. That was Saturday the 9th. And finally, Sunday the 10th, reaching out to Friends of the Court was one of the things I did on Sunday the 10th. What I mean is emailing those who wrote briefs, people I know, attorneys I know, groups I know, and inviting them to schedule an interview whereby I can discuss with them the arguments in those briefs that are being made to the court. We have a series of video arguments, and you can see it all on SupremeCourtVictory.com. I also worked on some updates to our Wikipedia pages. You always got to keep those up to date. Did the broadcast Sunday Mass, spent a little extra time, being it's the Lord's Day, and prayer and relaxation. Went over to one of my favorite restaurants for lunch. Started looking at the process of sending out Christmas cards. We send out tens of thousands of them from our office each year, so we've got to get the wheels rolling on that process. Prepared some Radio Maria shows. Worked more on the Supreme Court rallies that are going to be taking place in regard to that Dobbs case, and had some duties to perform because one of our staff people, the assistant to Alveda King, his name was Eugene Vigil, passed away recently, so I was making some, necessary changes as a result of that, and also preparing to celebrate his funeral mass this Saturday. So Sunday's activities brought me in all of those things to the conclusion of the day here. I also signed some cards, signed some birthday cards for our donors and for some bishops, and worked right up until the point where I was ready to go to sleep, which I did, and that concluded Sunday the 10th. So thanks for watching these daily diary segments. I love speaking with you, and we'll talk to you soon.